I haven't heard much of this. I think you mentioned maybe a word or two of it in a lot of your TikToks, and so it kind of got me intrigued. I'm like, maybe I'll just include the question just in case.
Mhm.
But do you operate in conspiracy theories, maybe in your closet or behind closed doors with the windows closed, nobody's seeing you, nobody's watching? But do you have any conspiracy theories that you ever pause at in regards to the control that we might be under? Do you believe in simulation theory, anything of that nature?
I do. Um, like, yeah, I don't want to get too deep into it, but definitely
Mm,
simulation, gaming, like we're in a game, stuff like that. Um, yeah, I'm not gonna get too deep in it, but I definitely feel like a lot of control is here. So,
that's interesting. Um, Whenever I'm on TikTok, first of all, I find TikTok to be such a dangerous app, mainly because of the amount of time it consumes. Once you're on there, like I'm on there for hours at a time. I'm like, I be on there trying to post my little videos, and I get stuck on there for 3 hours. I'm like, all right, man, we got to set timers and what have you. But in regards to simulation theory, I find it intriguing. When I was deployed in the Middle East, I would look at the sky and there's just nothing like it. The amount of colors, I'm like, Brett, how does that pink exist only here in the Middle East? I've never seen that pink anywhere else. And
mhm,
there was one morning where the sun was rising and it appeared to be white, just white. And of course, I think the actual color of the sun is white. But from Earth's vantage point, I'm like, how is the sun? First of all, it's the same size as the moon almost continuously, with
mhm,
rare exceptions. I'm like, there's part of me that looks at it. I'm like, what if we are in a conspiracy? Like, what if the first time someone, no, I believe it was uh not Kanye. Was it Kanye? Yeah, it was Kanye. He was talking about how the first time we get told to stay off the coffee table, it's like the first trend of being told not to do things. And so
mhm,
we ultimately wake up at 20 years old, 18 years old in your case, where we're just not doing certain things because we've been taught don't do these type of things.
yeah,
And of course, the older we get, we grow more and more conservative, and we start like, instead of chasing your dreams to be a rapper or chasing your dreams to be an actor or what have you, we might just settle for, I'll just get a job over here, or I'll go to school and get a degree, what have you. And we tend not to chase those type of things. And I start seeing a lot of correlations between, what if there were a conspiracy to keep humans or black people down, what would it look like? And I'm like, there might be evidence for that, but your thoughts?
I would say I think it goes back to the music part of it.
Mm,
Um, I think that's a big thing that keeps black people down is the music that we blast. Like we don't like conscious music. We don't
yeah,
like like we like lyrical artists if they're talking about smoking, if they're talking about violence and stuff like that. We don't really like hearing real stuff. We don't.
yeah,
So and what's promoted right now? We have
right,
the stuff like that. We don't have the J Cole is not even promoted like that. He's
nah,
promoted, but not as hugely as everybody else, like
yeah.
NBA, people like that. So
Yeah, Dirknam and J. Cole low key falling off, mainly because I think he's been pursuing a lot of the basketball ambitions he has. And I'm
mhm.
like, for a person like myself, I'm like, bro, who doesn't hoop, bro? Like, most black folk, you put me on the court, but I put in work. But like, he's trying to
Mhm.
make teams or what have you. It's different. But J. Cole's an interesting character, mainly because lyrically, I have him in the same category as a Kendrick Lamar.
Mhm.
I don't have him in terms of popularity up there with Drake, but you can see the circles he moves in. He's iconic already just
Mhm.
because of the amount of work he's put out and the quality of work he's put out. And I think people like him and Kendrick will always have their own category. Even Wayne, a lot of his lyrics are just his ability to just import similes and metaphors. I'm like, bro, who does that, bro? Like that's different. So I think I'll always have them in a separate category, mainly because of their style of rap. And a lot of it does contain vulgarity and what have you, and swear words and sex, drugs, money, what have you. But I think their delivery, it created a new category, and I think that's why people like yourself have kind of glued on to those type of individuals,
Yeah.
because of it's just different. It's different enough. I didn't hear much about this either. Astrology. Do you believe in astrology?
To an extent, I know a lot of people would be like, "Oh, because you're a Libra, you're this," or "Because you're a
Mm.
Virgo, you're this." I think people took it a little bit too far. I do believe like there's some truth to certain things,
mm.
but there's people who will be like, yeah, Virgos and Leos can't be in a good relationship. They won't be together long. And then my parents were a Virgo and a Leo, and they were married till death did them part. So it's
Yeah,
stuff like that. Like, I'm not too into it, but I do believe certain things. So
I feel
if
you.
I hear
I feel you.
something like Virgos are emotional and sensitive, that might be true because I'm
Mm.
emotional and I could be sensitive. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to take it to the extreme. So
Are you a Virgo?
I am.
See, that's weird because I'm a Virgo as well, and I've never heard that about Virgos. I've heard that about Cancers. My ex was a Cancer, and so she always talked about how I'm nurturing and I'm caring and I'm empath and I care about your deepest thoughts and insecurities. And then I've always been labeled as the analytical and structured and cold and stoic, what have you. So it's interesting that you being a Virgo, like we have these contradicting stories about the same exact sign, and I think they cross over different months, but I'm in the same boat as far as I don't put too much emphasis on the month someone was born in,
Mhm.
as authorizing someone's behavior. I'm like, yeah, the month you're born in that's no excuse on how you behave on a daily
Yeah.
basis. That I don't see the correlation there.